like I just signed a TDE. Gang, 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 gang. Know we all gotta eat. Up late, bills due, rent due, I ain't been asleep. Looking in the mirror, all I see is everything that I wanted to be. My city depended on me, that's on G.O.D. Grew up watching my mom become what daddy couldn't be. I ball like MLB, these Bottega boots ain't cheap. My car ain't got no key, I push the start to start my week. I'm in this photo, pour so photogenic. All I know is to go get it. Shoot my shot, now I ain't gon' miss it. All I know is to go get it. All my life I've been a go-getter.
Wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the San Francisco 49ers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Ready.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Lance going to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Finding space at the 40. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run good for 24 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The Niners at 500, 7-7 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a third down.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
First and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Once more, Gibson.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Powell tried to pick it up on 3rd.
This one complete to Curtis Samuel.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Showing off the quick feet that time and getting forward for a pickup of 3 yards.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On on second down. Here's Gibson again.
And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 36. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
They'll run with Gibson. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
We're scoreless after 1. Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2. They'll go. It's Gibson. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
The field goal would have been a pretty decent length, but I'm still kind of surprised they didn't kick it.
Yeah, I know, because you think you take the 3 there, trust him, but at the same time, if you can't pick up a few inches in this situation, you probably don't deserve to win the game anyway. Go get it, and they did.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. This time they'll throw it with Howell.
This will be caught. It's Samuel. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Gibson is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Gibson again.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here we go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Off of play action, here's Lance. And that is caught downfield by Beckham.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Down.
2nd and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 41-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Lance going to keep it on the option. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Lance steps away to his left. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. And Lance now to throw. Completes it to Samuel. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26.
Come on, set.
Back to the ground here. Mitchell knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Lance looking to throw it. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners are an extra point away from drawing level. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
2nd down and 8. They'll go play action. Howell.
And his throw is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Faking the handoff. Howell.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
On 1st down, Howell.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
2nd down, Howell now. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Howell's throw taken in by Samuel. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. And here's a give to Gibson.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7. Gibson again.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will do it for this 1st half. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Powell. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. Coming across the field, he finds Dotson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 39. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Powell to the air on 1st and 10.
Over the middle, complete. It's Thomas.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They'll run to Gibson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
Third quarter action, and we appreciate you spending your Christmas Eve right here with us. 2nd and 10.
Yellow, go. White.
To throw, it's Lance.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Go. Red, cycle. Quad red.
Throwing now is Lance.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And the Commanders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
76 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
First down, right back to Gibson. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Let's go. Mustang 19. Next match. 65.
They'll go again with Gibson.
And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 43-yard line. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be third down.
For Gibson.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Ready? 60 bison, 60 bison. I'm not flying, I'm not flying.
They'll run here with Gibson.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Let's go now.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Off play action. It's Howell.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello in a big way there when we lost double-digit yards on that sack.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
On the double.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time. All right, it's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Lance going to throw.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here's Lance.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Let's go. Hey, 3.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Play action with Howell.
Sliding out of the pocket. Thomas brings it in. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A give to Gibson running right. Running, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Commanders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the fourth quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
The extra point by Sly is up and good,
and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
No return for Ayuk. That'll be a touchback.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Looking to throw. Lance. And that will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Desperation time here. Lance.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they'll get the conversion on a gain of 14. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Ready.
Lance now on first down. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Lance. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted.
And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
A carry for Gibson.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
That one looks like he'll throw here. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long when they throw the football. They're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin, a 24-yard touchdown. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. Now, some may have run out the clock in that scenario.